shipping changes.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. It's Sunday afternoon. Today's November 3rd, 2019. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I wanted to give everyone kind of a sample of auditing your own store, how to review your own eBay store to make sure that you're looking at the things that need to be fixed to get them fixed. So I actually have somebody that allows me to kind of look at their store and kind of use them as an example. I've asked her in the past. She's cool with it. It's Colleen. You guys may or may not know her. She has 2,699 active listings, almost 2,700. She averages between 15 and 16 sales a day, sometimes 20 and 25, which would put her close to 1% on some days, and some days, 10 to 12 to 13 to 14, which puts her at 0.5%. So she's averaging right in that 0.75% every day, mostly clothing and shoes. She also does a little bit of other assorted miscellaneous things, which you'll see in just a minute. I'm going to jump over to my screen and show you. But the point of this video is I want to, show you guys how to actually go through your own store. So I do store reviews. If you want me to do a store review, I'm happy to do it. I'll link it below. But if you want to kind of go through and just make sure that everything that you should be doing or that is suggested and recommended by eBay, by some of the top sellers, things that the bigger sellers do that will get your store kind of flowing, even if you just do a few of them. I'm not saying you have to do all of them. This is going to be a great video for you to watch. So let's jump over to it and watch it. Just to give you an idea, I think Colleen hangs around a $30 average sale price. And so if she's averaging 15, 16 a day, that tells you she's doing about 450, upwards of 500, anywhere from like 12 and 13,000, I think was her low months. Her average months are in the 15, 16 range. I want to say for October, she came close to 20 grand. She had a really great October, 18 or 19 at least, maybe more. So this is what I would consider a really good seller. She's not gigantic, but she is a bigger seller in terms of what most of us do or what most of the viewers of this channel or in my Facebook group do. So definitely want to take a look at what Colleen is doing if shoes and clothing are one of your things. If you're doing electronics, toys, video games, you may want to adjust a little bit, but you can still get a good idea of how a good seller works their store and how they make the money that they make. So Colleen, great job. Let's go over and check out her store. Before this camera switches over and we're on my screen share, I do want to tell you guys two other things. So one is that, as promised, I am going to start putting together buyers and sellers, just like I promised you. Those of you that don't know, if you didn't see the video, basically I get emails and messages and Instagram and Facebook all day, every day, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds a week, of people that want to sell merchandise. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just they want to get out of the business. Sometimes they're really good at women's clothing, but they still get really good guys' clothing. They just don't want to list it and sell it. So they just want to, they ask me, hey Casey, I have 100 guys button-down shirts. Can you please find me a buyer? I'm looking for like $2 a piece or $2.50 a piece or whatever. And so I'm always like, I don't know what to do with all this merchandise. I can't buy it all. I have way too much as it is. The money's not an issue. It's just I can't list and get all this stuff sold. So I thought, what better way to do it than to go ahead and put together a list of people who might be interested in this stuff. And when it comes through to me, I can kind of pass it along and hook you guys up. And so I created a separate email list, just a whole individual email list. And what I'll do is I'll link below a link. All you have to do is click it and I'll add you onto that list. It'll automatically add you. And whenever any kind of merchandise comes through, I think I'm going to send it out like every Monday. I'm just going to add all these lots of available stuff. And then like once a week, I'll send it out. And then you can kind of go through it. And if there's anything that you're interested in, you can just email me and I'll put you in contact with the seller. I'll let you guys deal it on your own. And then it'll kind of be like first come, first serve. It's going to have to be, but you can just work with the buyers and sellers, together and get your stuff purchased or sold or whatever end of the deal that you're on. If you are looking to sell merchandise in a bulk lot, or you think you might be at a later point in time, then I will open it up to emailing an email address, which I'll also put below, where you can email me things that you have for sale that, like, hey, I have 100 shoes. I can't sell them. Can you help me move them? Put these out to your buyers and see if anybody's interested. And so I'll be able to do that. And we'll work out, the specific details as the month goes. But I kind of want to get this started by the end of the month in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So go ahead and use the link. Add yourself to the list if you're a potential buyer. And if you're a seller who wants to sell lots, then the email address is going to go down below where you can email your lots. And I'll probably start accepting lots that you want to get rid of. Let's say 2 weeks from now, which would be November the 17th. That way, or actually, let's say November 16th, like 2 weeks from Saturday. That way I can put the lots out like every Monday or something. We'll work that out. But anyways, to get started to be a potential buyer, just go ahead and add yourself to the email list below. There's no cost. You'll just be on the list. And if you do happen to make a transaction and we happen to sell lots for anybody, I'm not interested in being like buying the merchandise and then flipping it and shipping it twice. Maybe just like a small transaction fee for us, like, a buyer, seller, finder's fee type thing from the people that do the transaction. So we'll work all that out, but no big deal. It's going to be a great way for you guys to get great merchandise, and I'll get you all the legal details. I'll send out an email to everyone with all the details and the stipulations in the next 2 weeks. So thank you guys so much for being interested in that. Also, if you missed the guide that me and Keith put out for sell-through rates, all of your percentages of sell-through rates, it's down below. It's going to tell you 1,000 items and the estimated slow, medium, and fast sell-through rate of those items. It's an amazing, amazing resource. It'll tell you how much an item sells for daily, every 30 days, every 90 days, the percentage of sell-through rate, how many out of the actives and the listed, and the listed versus active sell-through rate percentages for the eBay sold defaults, which is 90 days, and then we also did 30 and daily. So check that out as well. It's down below. Thanks to Keith for helping me on that. It's amazing. Again, it's 1,000 items, and it's fantastic. All right, let's go over to Colleen's store. Let's review it. Let's go through it, and let me show you how it's done. And if you want me to take a look, that link's below as well. Okay, so here we go on Colleen's store. Again, 2,699 active listings, mostly clothing, shoes, and some assorted, she does some cologne, perfume, Bath Body Works, couple little plush here and there. So mostly, again, clothing and shoes, but a little bit of stuff mixed in. So I went ahead and got into her solds for 90 days. That's 1,337. Now, there's a few of hers that are not quite on here, so it's actually a little bit higher, and she sold some quantities, which you won't be able to see. That number comes out divided by 90 to 14.85, but if we add in the extras that you can't see, she's right at about 15 per day. So pretty good average, 15 items per day. And if I remember correctly, Colleen is just under $30 per item. So if we just assume she's at $28, which I think is pretty accurate, that's $420. Times 30 puts her in the 12.5 to 13 range, somewhere in that neighborhood. But over the last 60 days, which cuts out her 30 days before that of the 90, she did probably a little better at about 14 or 15. And then if you do her last 30 days, she's actually, like I said, way up there. She had a really, really good October, and I think she was closer up around the 18 or higher number. So really great job by Colleen there. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of her listings, just a couple of them here. This is a Massimo Duty men's cardigan textured cotton blazer. She actually forgot a space right there in the title. Colleen, go fix your title. But this one is a charging shipping, $4.99, which she does charge shipping on a lot. It's something I don't necessarily agree with, but like I said, the charge shipping versus free shipping is up to the seller. I don't really tell people they should do free shipping. I do recommend it if you have really lightweight items and or items that are not moving. If you have items that have been around for a while and you want a way to try to spruce them up, then yeah, you could implement some free shipping. Just make sure your prices are all good to go. Now, Colleen is selling what I believe is to be a item that is over 1 pound. So this would ship priority, and it's new a tag, so she's doing free or paid shipping on that. Now, she does have top-rated seller plus. She does have free 30-day returns and 1-day handling on everything. She has 99.9%. Colleen had 100% on almost 10,000 feedback until just recently, just this past month, she got her first negative. I think she might be able to get it removed. Hopefully, Colleen, if you watch this, get that removed. I hope you do. Okay, let's take a look at her description. This is the part I want you guys to pay attention to. It includes measurements. It includes the description, the color, the size, and the brand, and that is it. I highly recommend that you keep them short and sweet. I don't think you guys need 1,000 other things. Now, there are a couple of things I would like to see Colleen add to this, and I don't think it's terrible, but I would like to see her add it, and you guys probably see it in my listings and some other people's listings. I'd like to see something along the lines of, 1-day handling. We ship all of our items within 1 business day. That would really help a buyer who's looking know that it's shipped in 1 business day. And then also she could put something about the returns, her return policy or customer service. You don't need 10 pages. You don't need 8 paragraphs, but just a couple little lines of your policies would be great. What she's got here is a really good description. Short, sweet, to the point, but it includes everything she needs. The brand, if you're selling an electronic, maybe the make and model, with a model number, compatible models, the color, any kind of descriptions. She's got new tags, and then she's got her measurements, and that's all you really need. If you come over and look at her other one, this is a pair of Michael Kors leather slip-ons that she has. Again, she's charging because they're over £1. Colleen does paid shipping for pretty much everything. Her free 30-day returns, if you scroll down, here it is again, Michael Kors women's ballet flats. It's exactly what the item is. She's got a size 8 medium, brown leather slip-ons, and gently worn. Seen images. Nothing more, nothing less than what she needs right there. And I think it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and I believe that that's all you really need. Look, she has all of her item specifics. Really, really good. Okay, keep that in mind. So again, Colleen rolling with it. That is really all you need. Now, I'd like to see her sell-through rate a little higher, but with clothing and shoes, it's very good, especially with fourth quarter being here. If she was to mix in electronics, toys, games, things of that nature, which she does every once in a while, but not really, you'd probably see her selling from 15 items a day up to 20 or more per day. So very good job, Colleen. She does this on her own. She recently, in the last couple of months, did hire a lister/assistant. So she is getting these big numbers on her own. She got to, I believe, over 2,000 listings without any help right there, 2,699. She probably was over 2,000, 2,200 by the time she got a lister. I'd have to ask her exactly what number she got it at. But that shows you it can be done full-time, of course, full-time. She used to have a job, she quit, and now she is, of course, full-time reselling. Okay, so that is kind of a way to look at your store and go through everything. So let's go over in a quick little review of what you need to check into to make sure you're good to go. I highly recommend being top rated plus. That means free returns, 1-day handling. Make that number 1 on your list if you can get it. Number 2, make sure you have good titles. Colleen has really good titles that give the brand, the model, the condition, the style, the size, all the stuff that you need to have. Number 3, Colleen is running sales on a majority of her items that are non-bid, non-auction items. If we scroll down, we can see, look, this one, 20%, 20%. 5% is not going to get people off the couch. 10% is okay, but not great. 15 and 20% are recommended. I tend to run my stuff 14, 16, 18. If you look at my store, you'll see all kinds. I think I have a 19% store running, sale running right now. So definitely, run those sales, get those going. Colleen promotes her entire store, something to check on. Make sure you're promoting. She's doing like 1% or 2%, nothing major, but enough to give her a little bit of a bump. She also has auctions for items that she hasn't been able to move. She's starting them low at just a couple of bucks and running the shipping to cover it. So if this item even gets 1 bid, she's getting $4 and $4. She's getting $7.98. It's enough to cover the shipping and the fees and give her a buck or two in her pocket to move inventory, bringing a little bit of eyeballs to her store. Definitely a way to move it out. The other great thing, she's mixing new and used inventory. She's got about 50-50, 1,400 to 12, so maybe 55-45, but she's mixing new with used. Where is she getting new? Well, she's finding some of it thrifting and sourcing. She does do a little bit of retail arbitrage. She's bought some boxes, so she's mixing it up a little bit. Great job here. She's got good brands, things you would expect to see, brands you would expect to see her selling. Things like Gap, Victoria's Secret, Under Armour, Vintage Polo, which is great. Stuart Weitzman, which is a great women's heels. She sold 2 pairs of Stuart Weitzmans. Very great. J. Crew, Zara. Let's see what else. Canali, which is really expensive brand. Clark's, a brand of shoes we talk about here. Loft by Ann Taylor, not exactly one that I like too much, but she did well on this one. Best offer accepted, so she probably took about 15, 16 plus the shipping. Liz Claiborne, Brooks Brothers, all brands, 90% of her brands that we would expect for people to be selling. Zara, again, Talbot's. Let's see, a couple brands that I don't recognize, but Stuart Weitzman, another good one. Bershka Zara, these boots really popular in the winter. Loft, again, not one I sell, but she does well. Brooks Brothers, Polo, BCBG, decent. The Limited, you can see it sold really cheap, probably one that she had for a while. Okay, so keeping those brands right. And then look at the photos. They're not perfect, guys, but they're white. They're white background. They look pretty good. They got a little gray in them, but not bad. Some of her older photos you can see, probably mistake items, but a lot of them look really, really good with the white background. She does have some older photos, but for the most part, they're all updated and look really, really good. So keep with those white backgrounds. So all things you can take a look at, learn from, and update. I really, really think you should, study some people's stores. It doesn't have to be Colleen's. It can be other people's. But at the same time, make sure you're studying stores with people that have sales and are successful. There you go, guys. That's a store review on its own. If you want me to take a look at the store, if you want me to go through it for you, it's really affordable. It's inexpensive. It's cheap. It's linked down below. You can click it and get a store review. And also, make sure if you want to be on our buying list for wholesale, you use that link. That'll be below. And if you want to pick up the guide from Keith and myself on all of these brands and their sell-through rates, their selling speeds, what to buy and sell, kind of a mini bolo / sell-through rate list, that's available below as well. I appreciate you as always. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you guys right back here tomorrow with another video. Check out later tonight. I'm going to put up a fun video from our Halloween Horror Nights trip. You don't want to miss that. That'll be on the channel in just a couple of hours. Thanks as always. I'll see you next time.